wabarakatuh. My name is Nisa Surgi Lestari. I'm from 4E class majoring in English Education Department, Faculty of Tarbiyah and Teacher Training, State Islamic University of Sultan Syarif Qasim Riau. So, in this video, I will make a short video explanation about quantitative and qualitative differences and theoretical basis. So, the first explanation about determination method. And the basis of using the method is research process, audience, data, and question. The first step in determining the method is to look at the research objective. Research that aims to find causal relationship, correlation, evaluation of activity or program that are objective, measurable, and limited. Another thing that determines the selection of research method is the problem of question to be answered or understood. Questions taken from existing theory are usually quantitative in nature, so that quantitative methods are considered suitable, while question whose purpose is to create a new theory or provide an in-depth description of a problem or event, the use of qualitative method is more appropriate. Another thing that determines the selection of a method is the data to be taken. Qualitative method will use data taken by interview, observation, or existing document, while the quantitative method will use survey data, testing, experiments, or questionnaires. And the next discussion is difference between qualitative and quantitative. This is by Creswell. Alright, quantitative methods better describe the problem in the form of a description of the relationship between variables, causal relationship, comparative relationship, or associative relationship. Problems in qualitative research are usually formulated in general and broad terms. This depends on the progress of the interview and the information provided by the participants. And the second is a literature review or theory. Quantitative methods emphasize the importance of theory from the very beginning. This theory will be the basis for determining variables, hypotheses, and the formation of research instruments. In the qualitative methods, theory or literature review has less role in problem solving. The qualitative methods relies heavily on input, information, and studies from participants. Increase library search starting from encyclopedia, books, journals, papers, and dissertations, and finally the internet. And the third is the aims and objective of the research. The purpose of using quantitative methods is usually narrow and measurable. Qualitative research methods have a rather general purpose, and the questions asked are also open-ended and general, allowing participants to provide as many answers as possible. And the fourth is data analysis and interpretation. Quantitative methods usually use statistics in data analysis. Computer software such as SPSS, Minitab, Excel are used to process the data, making it easier for researchers to calculate the results. In qualitative methods, data acquisition is usually from interview. The data has been collected is then analyzed by first reading and the entire text. And the fifth about research tools. In quantitative methods, research tools or research instruments they are often used are questionnaires, often also referred to as a measuring instrument. In the qualitative methods, the researcher himself is a delegated data collection tool. It means that the researcher directly with the participants or participant with the participants. And the sixth is about the research period. Quantitative methods usually take relatively less time. And the seventh is about reporting. Quantitative methods usually follow a pattern that has been standardized and standard. Usually, quantitative methods have 5 chapters of these discussions, and reporting in qualitative methods is flexible and not rigid. The structure evolves and the sequence varies. And the differences between quantitative and qualitative methods is also described by Newman. Newman adds the value aspect of a research method. Quantitative methods tend to be value-free, while qualitative methods are value-related. And the last one is theoretical basis of qualitative method. Most texts and patterns present several theoretical perspectives that underline qualitative methods. The first is phenomenology, symbolic interaction, ethnography, heuristic, and hermeneutics. And the first one is phenomenology. The word phenomenology comes from the Greek word phenomenon, which means to show oneself. This school was started in Germany through Edmund Husserl, a phenomenology figure, and later also developed by Alfred Schutz, Merleau-Ponty, Whitehead, and Surgi. Edmund Husserl defines phenomenology as the study of how people experience and describe things. Phenomenology is very influential on research methods because they want to understand the meaning conveyed by participants. It also means that reality is a social construction. And number 2 is symbolic interactions. Next is social interaction, which is closely related to the thinking of George Herbert Mead and Herbert Blumer. Symbolic interaction theory emphasizes the importance of meaning and interpretation as an essential human process in behaving and relating. First, the human action towards something is based on the meaning it has about that thing. And second, the meaning of something emerges from social interactions. Third, the meaning of something is modified through a process of interpretation. And the relationship with the qualitative method is that this method emphasizes the interpretation aspect and sees meaning as understood by others. Interviews are a way to capture the meaning of an experience. And number 3 is ethnography. The word ethnography comes from the word ethnos, from Greek word, and which means people, cultural groups, and cultures. Culture here is understood as a learned habits and value. Because qualitative methods aim to capture meaning, understanding culture is an important element that researchers must know. Ethnography aims to seek an understanding of culture. Researchers who want to understand the culture of a community group must spend sufficient time living with the community. And number 4 is heuristics. The word heuristics comes from the Greek word heuriskein, which means to find, discovery, or to get, to find. This refers to the internal speech process in which one seeks to understand the nature of experience. There are 6 important steps in heuristics, namely initial involvement, going deeper into the topic, incubation, enlargement, illumination, disclosure, revelation, and explication. Creative synthesis, which is the pinnacle of research. This method pays attention to understanding, not measurement. Attention to experience, not attitude. Quality, not quantity. The personal views and personal reflections of the researcher are very influential. And the last one is hermeneutics. Hermeneutics comes from the Greek word hermeneuin, which means to understand and to translate or interpretations. Hermeneutics was first developed by Friedrich Schleiermacher and Wilhelm Dilthey, and then applied it as a research method in the human science. The focus of hermeneutics is interpretation to understand and capture the deepest meaning of the information conveyed by participants. Hermeneutics requires understanding the correct context so that the original meaning can be revealed. Hermeneutics also helps researchers to actualize reality more clearly. I think that's all from me. Sorry for my mistake and thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum.